I left my thumb drive at home.
Well, thank you for joining us today on a great event. It's taken a little bit of time to get to. I'm Chip Massey. I'm the Vice President of External Programs here at KCC. It is my honor to introduce the President of KCC, Dr. Roberto Gutierrez, for your welcome.
Thank you, Chip. Well, it's a little bit cloudy out there, but metamorphically, I can say that there's a lot of sunshine inside this building. Very, very nice. So, thank you for coming and welcome. You know, as I look around, as I look at, because the buildings really is just, it's a place where lives get changed. It takes people. And then as I look at, I've been here 11 years. And I've talked to some board members about what I'm about to say and others. But the average time for a president across the U.S. is 3.8 years. I've been here 11 years, but 3.8, 3.9 years. What happens is that because of the stresses of the job, but also in small colleges like this, is sometimes it's a stepping stone to bigger contracts, status, bigger places, more metro areas. My wife and I decided to make a commitment to Klamath Falls, so we decided not to do that, not to do the typical, moving on. So that makes me one of the longest serving presidents in higher ed across Oregon, 11 years. So, thank you. Appreciate it. But one of the benefits that happens with longevity of a president that my colleagues, speaking generally, don't have is that they set the vision, but they don't stick around to see the outcome. And they miss out. And because this vision has taken so many years, I see the outcome, and I'm here for that outcome. And that, many times, is priceless. And that's what makes it, how can you pay for this? There's no way that you can pay for this when you stick around for things like this. So this is great, and again, it's the outcome of making a commitment, just with my wife, just like you and I, the ring. So anyway, but it's just so, it is great, and we plan to retire in Klamath Falls when that happens, right? I'm looking at my wife over there, right? So I'm gonna start with introductions. Whenever I call you, please stand and be acknowledged. Trustee DeCrans, Trustee Dill, Trustee Jensen, please stand. These are board members that are here, so thank you. We also have some retired board members that are here today, and thank you for joining us. We have Alan Kathy Keene, please stand and be acknowledged. Al, can you remain standing, please? Again, we started this vision years ago, but I just looked at the board minutes, because I was wondering who made the motion. You made the motion to move this forward. So yeah, so thank you for doing that, Al. I appreciate that. Thank you. We have also others that I'd like to acknowledge. The Capital Campaign, a lot of work, co-chairs, Gene Hittinger and Commissioner DeGree, please stand and be acknowledged. A lot of work happened here, so thank you so much. Wesley Cochran, EDA rep, yeah, please stand. So please, we had another event earlier, but I'm going to repeat this a little bit, not so much into details, but that's $3 million. This is grants out of the Department of Commerce, that we were able to get. And we so much appreciate it. There's just no way we could have moved forward without that funding from the Department of Commerce, from the federal government. So thank you so much for helping us in that endeavor. And I understand there's more coming. Thank you. We did ask for 900,000 extra, and it looks like I may be on its way. That allows us to have extra technology, extra equipment in this building. Jonathan Tabor, City Manager, can you please stand and be acknowledged? So, Thank you for joining us. Jonathan is fairly new to our community. He's a new city manager. And I was sharing earlier, and I was talking to him that for the first time in 11 years, we did have some assistance from the city, $100,000 for the Apprenticeship Center. And I know that you had a lot to do with that. So you're already making an impact. So thank you so much. And I know Annette doesn't like this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Where's Annette? Libby? Maybe she took off, darn it. And I'm not surprised. Annette is the connection to, at that time, to the governor's office. And Annette and I had a lot of conversations on the phone about numerous things, but mostly, many times, is about the funding. She was instrumental in $200,000. And then later on, our well really rigged $900,000. And there's just no way that could have happened without her assistance and without her, the connection to the previous governor. So I just, even though she's not here, I just want to publicly thank her for that. So thank you. Let's see, Linnell Lynch. Of course, is Linnell here? Linnell Lynch. Linnell, please stand. And I know there's a connection to this, but also our next project. Linnell, we just acquired the cosmetology program, in East Main, and now we're moving it over here. But thank you, because you have a lot of experience in cosmetology in salons across the United States, and more importantly, your business sense. You're the chair of our cosmetology board, and we really value your input. So thank you for doing that for us, Linnell. I really appreciate it. How about Randy Cox? Is he here? Okay, he's back there. I'm going to call you front. No, it's okay. Randy is the executive director of Casita, local Casita, and that has to do with the local economics. We look at data, we look at companies coming in, and how to strategize to make sure we get those strong middle-class salaries coming to Klamath Falls. We made a lot of headway under your leadership. Thank you so much, Randy. I appreciate your leadership of Casita. So, Brian Kingsman, the CEO of, there we go, and his beautiful wife. And what is your daughter's name?
Anna.
Anna, okay. The CEO of Kingsman has to do with, really this building and so on. But I shared with this earlier, so you know what I'm about to say. But this is very important. 4 words: on budget, on time. So good to see, again, I already shared this earlier with him, so good to see a local contractor, business owner, money's coming from the federal government and other areas, come and they stay here in Klamath Falls. And that's what's happening here. We need to continue to do that, to do that and have those local money stay here. So congratulations. And like I told you earlier, KCC will be a strong reference for you. So thank you so much. First, Steve Tippin, Steve here. All right, Steve. Steve, how long have you been the chair of the foundation? How many years? 13 years, so something about longevity. Steve, we really counted on the strong leadership of the KCC Foundation, and Steve has been there every step of the way, with scholarships, with monies, and so on. We so much appreciate your leadership, and I understand you're moving on to further adventures, Oklahoma, so I want to publicly acknowledge all the work that you've done on the KCC Foundation. Thank you so much, Steve. We do have at least one, if not 2, local educators. Superintendent Brown, can you please stand and be acknowledged? He's the city school superintendent. Principal Campbell, Eagle Ridge, is she here? Sure. Okay. Anyway, so thank you. And you've been in our community for a couple of years. Yeah. So thank you so much, fellow Texan. I was born in Texas, so welcome to our community. Thank God you're here. We continue to work, but I talked a little bit earlier how important it is to work with our K-12 partners. I have some of this, because of policies and funding, couldn't happen without strong support from our local representatives. Representative Reski, I got a letter, and I think this letter, there's copies of letters out there, Chip. He really wanted to be here. I really worked with Representative Reski on some of this funding for this building from the state. He really wanted to be here, but his session, we're every 2 years we have a strong session, has to do with budgets, and we know that on the docket is the higher ed budget coming up. So priorities. So he couldn't be here, but he just sent a letter, and he just talks about how important this project is, and how it's going to be to the community. If you want a copy, there's a letter over there. So anyway, I really appreciate Representative Vesky's support. Again, we're a team here in this plant, and we've been working together like never before, all of us. Again, this is the outcome of that, and more things to come. So anyway, he's a strong supporter of the things that we are doing here. So let me move on. I'm going to say a few more words here. So today we celebrate the grand opening of the KCC Apprenticeship Center. We begin a new chapter of developing a strong, skilled labor force in the trades. Underline that, in the trades, so important, because we're so far ahead of most of other places across the U.S. Now they're starting to do what we're doing here, but it's important that in the trades, the training that will happen in this center will be used as a tool to help us fulfill our community's full potential. I am definitely for that, and I know that we have still so much to go, but we have a lot of potential in Klamath Falls, and we're finally starting to achieve that. I firmly believe that a well-trained workforce, in the case of the trades, will enhance the quality of life in our community. Let's see, how about a little bit of Econ 101? I think I'm somewhat safe. I don't see any econ faculty here, so let me do this. When you have a well-trained workforce, and Randy, you and I see the data, so you know what I'm about to say, so correct. When you have a well-educated, well-trained workforce, companies, and we look at middle-class salaries, Randy, because I'm on Randy's board, and we look at this to make sure the minimum wage are going to come anyway. We don't focus on that. We want middle-class salaries or higher. So we attract that when we have a well-educated workforce. The plumbers, electricians, whatever they need to build. And this center is part of that. So they look at the data. And they also, if it's a technology company, they also look at some of the data, some of the programs that we have here and at OIT. They're a strong partner with us in some of this. So when you have that, then they come. Then the middle-class salaries start. Hence, Commissioner DeGroot and City Manager Chip, then we start building a strong tax base. Then that makes your jobs easier because we have monies for the parks, for the roads. You see, it's all connected. And many times you gotta start places like this where you have the education and the trades. So I'm very bullish on some of this. We see the big picture. However, this is not like fast food. Some of this takes time and takes years to get going. Again, this is the vision that started 7-8 years ago, but we are here. We still have some more things coming up, but a big part of this is the team effort. I've never seen anything like this before. When I got here, it wasn't like that. It was a bunch of silos. Now we're finally starting to work together for the betterment of this community. At the end, it's about people and their success. That's how I feel to things. Is this about people and their success? Yes, it is. Okay, let's move forward. Is it about self and the spotlight? It is. Then we're not. That's how it works. And when you focus on people, good things happen. These are good jobs that lead to excellent careers, electricians, plumbers, and we need those. Lastly, having a well-trained workforce helps to diversify our economy. For years, we were diversified. We need to start doing that, and we're slowly starting to do that. Years ago, we were mostly focused on timber. And we did get some taxes, and I'm looking at the commissioner here, we did get some taxes for schools and so for K-12, but that's dried up. We gotta find other sources of income. And this is one of those to do that. So off my soapbox now, so and I've shared this with others, so especially the employees know this, what I just said. So I've been asked about implementation. So how is this gonna work? Okay, we are really working across, especially K-12. Superintendent Brown, we really need to work with you and Superintendent Sismoniak. We're already doing that, but even more than ever. We need to reach out to sophomores, to get them in the trades, to get their hands on, because a lot of students, and I used to be a K-12 teacher, and I understand, a lot of students don't do well behind the podium, just talk. They want hands-on, and that's what we're providing here now more than ever. And we're going to be working now more than ever with your students. And again, starting as sophomore. We're already doing that. We have a technology program in your high school, KU. So we've been doing that for a while, but now it's going to be even more expanded, now more than ever. So we're going to start with K-12 and then move on to adults. But it will be pre-apprenticeship, that may be K-12, and then move on to the formal 4-year formalized apprenticeship programs. So that's what we're going to do here. So in closing, because I was told no more than 5 minutes. I think I got over my time. Presidential prerogative, okay. Just quickly in closing. What we are doing here is an indication that common people in this part of Oregon can achieve uncommon and extraordinary results. Thank you. Jim Pillinger, I think you're going to say a few words. Can you please come up?
Anyway, thank you all for coming here today. It's so wonderful, such a grand occasion to be celebrating. And I think particularly for Derek DeGroot and we're both co-chairs together, and 6.5 years ago was when we started planning this campaign. I think we both thought in a year we'd have raised all of this money and we would not have to go on worrying about it. It has now gone on 6.5 years. And if you go back to the beginning, our goal was $800,000 or $8 million. And then the next time we went to a campaign meeting, it went to $9 million. The next time was $10 million. And then I almost decided I wasn't going to go to any more campaign meetings because I couldn't imagine it going any higher. Well, it did. It went to 11.1 million. And of course, this was caused by COVID, by inflation, and all of the extra expenses that have happened. And it just takes time to raise $11.1 million. And it sounds like today we've gone over that 11.1 million. And thank you so much for all of you that are in this room that have given money. I don't know, I think giving money, when we all work together, this community itself has given well over $1 million. And when we work together, it's amazing that we can do such bigger things. And if we each give money, and we're a part of this building, and I feel that when I come here, that it is, I love being part of this foundation. When they first asked me to come, and my thing is raising money, so I get asked to do all kinds of things, and I said, no, I'm really very busy. I don't have time for anything more. I don't want to give money and I don't want to work. Till a vice president came and sat at my door and talked me into working for the foundation. And it's been a marvelous experience. And I've been able to bring a lot of people into the KCC to learn about it, and that's what Klamath Falls needed to do. But if Dr. Gutierrez and the staff and everyone out here hadn't done the amazing job that they have done, my bringing people out here would not have worked. But I want to thank you again for all the money that you've given. I hope that you will continue supporting KCC. I do believe that this building, the Apprenticeship Center, is going to be one of the greatest keys to help Klamath Falls with the training of people. And I think it's what's going to stabilize and grow our economy. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all you have done. And I'm so thrilled you're here today to see this beautiful building. Thank you. Now, I will introduce to you Steve Tippett, the foundation chairman. And Steve, we're going to miss you. We hate to see you leave.
Thank you very much, Jean. Jean has been so important in the foundation over the years. The money that she's raised, she's very good at what she does. And I appreciate it very much. I'm going to start off with a little history lesson. What I want to talk about is I've been chairman of the foundation board for 13 years. And you're going to remember this too, Al. About 11 years ago, we were looking for a president. Remember that, Al? And we had a couple people that came into town that were out learning why. We had meetings out there. And there are several good candidates. But there was one in my mind stood out, I think in your mind also, Al, that stood out to us. And that gentleman is sitting right here, has been our president now for 11 years. He's done an outstanding job. And I just appreciate it's the vision that Roberto has put into this college and has really helped us grow. And I appreciate that so much. Roberto, thank you for what you've done for it. So, yeah, thank- and I knew at the time that most presidents of community colleges serve about 3.5 years, something like that. But we talked him into staying here, and he's done such a tremendous job. So, but let me move on to another thing. Our foundation that I've worked on, what's really happened, it's a small group of people that meet monthly, but it's the community that makes the foundation. And the amount of money that we've raised for this building and other buildings on this campus, we've raised $1 million in the community for this building. So that's been a tremendous, I want to thank you all for what's happened there. So here's the thing that I look at driving out here today. You know, the reason I got out of this foundation was to help people raise families, to get a good job, get a good education. Because when you do that, you're not just serving the people that come to the college at that time, you're serving generations going forward. So I look at what's happening with this building. Yeah, we're here today to celebrate the completion of this building, but it's more like a birth, because what we're going to see is this building and the people in this building, the community that works with this, we are going to increase our community. We're going to help people get a good paying job. We're going to bring housing into the community. We're going to bring other things into the community. This building will be here for 20 or 25 years or maybe longer than that. I don't know, but it's going to be a tremendous asset for the building, for the college, for the community. And we really appreciate what everybody's done. One other thing before I stop speaking now, probably over my 5 minutes now, but anyway, the thing that we haven't done to my satisfaction, and it's really important for the students here, to maintain the students here. A lot of our students need financial help. We raise money for them. So we're starting a campaign. I want to talk to you. We kicked it off this year. Giving more money for scholarships. We need more money for scholarships for students. So please, if it's within your heart to give to the students that will be here serving, working in the community and getting an education, please give money to the scholarships for the foundation. So with that said, I'm going to introduce, now let me express something here. We have a graduate of KCC who is now the chairman of the Board of Education of KCC. So Kenny, thanks, would you come forward?
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Anybody who knows me knows how much I love this school. Was for my wife telling me to come down here and take a look at it, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. The debt that I owe this school, I will never be able to repay. I have met so many amazing people that has got me to where I'm at, and I just look forward to every bit of help I can do here. I'm still trying to figure out how this giant building is somehow bigger on the inside than the outside. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm happy to see that a lot of our programs are finally going to have a real home. Our EMTs, Casey's not going to have to drag her stuff around anymore. She has her space finally. Congratulations, Casey. So happy for you. Our manufacturing program doesn't have to do things in 3 or 4 different places. Our firefighters, they can do everything right here. They have, we refill our tanks. They have a place for the trucks. We're not having to replace parts on the trucks anymore because it's cold outside. Our welding people are here. Our weld drillers are going to be here. And we finally have a place for our HEP program for those students who, the migrant workers and stuff like that, who aren't sure where they're going to go. Well, they can sit right in that room and see the possibilities of, I can do that, I can attain that. Those people are attaining that so that they can be a part of our community and they can have a home here in our community. It's just, I'm just beyond proud of being a part of this place and a part of this community. I'm not from here, but of all the places I have been able to be at in my life, this is the first time I've ever felt at home. And it's because of this college. Buildings like this, I grew up with a parent in the trades, so it's very dear to me. I work at an amazing company who supports the trades, and just knowing that my coworkers are going to go through these apprenticeship programs and we're going to have the best quality apprentices in the state, and I 100% believe that. I know the people who teach those programs, and we only deal with quality here, and I 100% am just amazed to be a part of this, and that happy that you guys allowed me to be a part of this. And with that said, I would like to introduce our commissioner who never says no to this community college, Derek.
Thanks again. So thank you everybody for being here. I was walking over with Trustee Jensen on our way over from Founders Hall, and we were discussing, somebody asked me yesterday, are you responsible for the weather? And I said, yeah, every time it rains. So you betcha. We've been at this a long time, so 6.5 years. I recall one of my first meetings as a county commissioner after I was elected, my predecessor came in front of me, and he was the co-chair at that time for the WorkSource Center, and asked for some funding so that we could put some equipment in there. And of course, the answer was yes, let's make sure we get that done. But what was surprising to me, and we've all talked about how amazing this building is, so I want to talk about a few other things real quick. What was amazing to me, that building wasn't even completed, and we were over in another building within KCC where we're talking about, oh, now we need to build a Founders Hall. That just is starting to break ground, and we're in building, 7? And we were having the conversation of, should we try to build an apprenticeship center? And that's all it was. And this is, I think this is all within my first 3 months, folks. So should we try? Should we even have a conversation about what it would look like to build an apprenticeship center? And folks were having, debate back and forth. Oh, we're taking on so much. And Roberto gets up and he's all excited. He's like, no. And he nudges me, you're going to say something? Yeah, I got you. So I hopped up and I said, folks, what are we talking about? Should we try? And the answer is, hell yes, let's try. Well, here we are, and we're in this amazing building, and it's the leadership in the community. Building a community is a team sport. You've heard some folks talk about that a little bit today. People are breaking down silos, and we're trying to figure out how can we move this community forward. And we have buildings flying up all over the place. KCC is building one after another. There's 2 more in works, folks, not 1, 2. And we're going to talk about one of those in a second. It's incredible. Things are going up at Oregon Tech. There's things going around all over in our community. The progress that we've made over the last 5-6 years is absolutely astounding. And yes, we're rebuilding the community. And it takes leadership like we're seeing at KCC to get that done. There's a child care center that's going to go in across the street. The county's already dedicated close to $750,000 towards that project. Should we build it? Should we talk about building? Hell yes, let's go. Let's build another one. That's the kind of momentum, that's the kind of energy that we're seeing in Klamath County today, and that's how we're going to rebuild this community and make it better than ever, so our kids have a place that they can come home to, and they can have solid careers, and they can have lives. I'm a grandpa, just little over a year ago. She's 15 months old. She took her first steps on Wednesday. And we're going to build a community that she can grow up in and she can have a family in. And that's what this is all about. So thank you very much. I have a lot of energy and I end up with a lot of crazy ideas and people trying to keep up with me. And I really appreciate the folks that do. But even I have a hard time keeping up with President Gutierrez. The guy is absolutely a workhorse, and this community would not be making the strides that it is without his leadership, sir. This college is absolutely incredible. I was born here. Right. I'm looking around the room and see a few more folks that have been here I've been here my whole life. Never in a million years did I think that this empty field would have a campus like this. This is absolutely incredible, and I couldn't be more proud to be a part of it. So thank you very much. Jean, nobody raises money like this lady. She's absolutely incredible. It has been an absolute pleasure to work with you over the last 6 years and making this come together. And of course, to my board, I have a wonderful board that I work with, Commissioner Hensley, Commissioner Menti. They're always also so supportive, and every time I go and ask for money for KCC, they jump right on board. So thank you very much. And with that, I'd like to welcome back President Menti.
Thank you, Commissioner Groot. Many times what I do is I have a filter mechanism, and words are great, sounds pretty good, but in reality, where's the action many times? So where's the action? So let me just give it. He talked about what's going on with the child care center. So first of all, we got to have a need in this community for this. We definitely have a need. I mean, we are called the child care desert. That's what Salem calls us. So we have a strong need, and it's holding back economic development because of that. So we had a conversation. So he was being assessed. He doesn't know that. So we're having a conversation, and then so we have a need, but also the college needs to be sustainable. For example, this is paid off. We have the title to it, and that needs to continue. And then these programs can be expensive. Childcare is very expensive to run. So I look at the future. Okay, we need partnerships, and this one is a three-way partnership. We've had two-way partnerships, and we have quite a few of those. This is a three-way partnership. OCDC, KCC, the commissioners, Klamath County. So when we went through the need, we volunteered the 3 acres across the street. Okay, okay, we mean business. It's not just a bunch of rhetoric, a bunch of talk that sounds good, we mean business. And then we got together with OCDC, they're gonna run it for us, and okay, now it's sustainable. It can continue. And that's what it takes. It takes effort, all of us working together, common goals, common vision. At the end, it's about people, and that's what we're doing here. So thank you so much for being part of the team here in this community commission, and you're leading some of that. So thank you so much for doing that. Yes. Okay, so we got to prepare for the official opening. So we have a countdown. Is that correct, Sheriff?
Have everybody on board leadership. Be ready to push the button. We will officially open. What's going to happen?
Okay. So, do I do the countdown? How about if all of you join me? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. The KCC Apprenticeship Center is officially open. Lives are going to continue to be changed. Thank you so much.